move on to the team that is playing here, that's still hanging around. The Seattle Mariners, our hometown baseball club here. Not the best week to talk about the Mariners.
Yeah, at all, man. They had that road trip in New York and Boston this past weekend. It was a
started in
shit
Cleveland,
show,
man. Started in Cleveland.
Yeah, I was talking just this past week, and it's been a shit show.
Yep, 2-8 road trip from Cleveland to New York and Boston. Now they did get a little bit of home cooking in there, and that great win Monday against the A's, the extra inning win. They were down 4-1. Going into the 8th inning, and Vogie brought him back. Daniel Vogie back with a 3-run home run to tie the game in the bottom of the 8th, and then after giving up a run in the top of the 10th, which is, at this point the bullpen is only going to go so long. You're used to it. We've seen this game before. You know what I mean? And then they rally with a 2-run comeback at the bottom of the inning with Omar hits in Vogie and Santana with a single to win the game, to not only get the tying run but then the winning run to come around to. Great win on the with the tying RBI double and then winning run on Navarro's single. Great win for the Mariners on Monday. But again, this is the team we're talking about here. Terrible road trip, terrible team to watch. Every now and again, they got the bats. They're gonna make the big swings. They're gonna get the big runs, and it's gonna happen for them. But what do you think here, Marku?
I mean, right now at the moment as we record this, the Mariners are leading 4-3 going to the bottom of the 8th, and I highly doubt they hold that lead, man, because we're 21-23. It's time to get pretty real about how this trend has gone downwards from us being 13-2 to start the season. Yeah, started 13-2,
7-21 since. Just to put a number on it, because you can say we've fallen below 500, but 7-21 is what it's been.
Exactly. I mean, we are bringing in a lot of prospects from the minor leagues at this point because it's starting to realize, with the management that they got to get these young guys, really.
Well, yeah, that's what we're doing here. We're processing. We're trying to find the diamonds in the rough. We're trying to get the kids coming up. We're building for the future. We said in the beginning this team was going to, whatever happened this year's gravy. This is a fun year. Get on the team. Get on the bandwagon. The fact that they started 13-2 gave us a glimpse of what they could do. And now, just knowing they can anytime, don't expect this team to win, but when they do, and they will. They really can hit. I mean, they are still second in home runs. They are still second in RBIs. And of course, they are still first in strikeouts. So they are, as we said before, the ultimate 2019 MLB team. Leading in home runs, leading in strikeouts. They are feast or famine.
Yeah, the issue that's coming along is now they're third in the AL West, though, and they're falling behind the Angels, and the A's are quickly catching up. Yeah.
Because that's the only team we can beat. That's the fun of that. So you were saying they brought some kids up, and you're right. We brought to deal with some injuries. We got a J.P. Crawford and Shed Long made their Mariners debut, and J.P. Crawford is the highly touted prospect they traded Gene Segura for from the Phillies. Never panned out in the Phillies organization, although still a highly touted prospect. Great minor league ball player. Once again, as a great minor league ball player, hit .319 to start the season down there with the Tacoma Rainiers in 31 games. .319, you gotta like that. He had 15 ribbies down with the Rainiers. Brought him up, starting his season, he is hitting .235 with the Mariners in 4 games right now. So still getting the hang of that big league, but going. And Shed Long also makes his debut up here. Got to bring up the kids though, because more bad news on the injury front, Marku. This time with Felix going down.
Yeah, 4 to 6 weeks with a lat strain, and it looks like Felix's values tumbling quickly. He's had 2 terrible starts in a row. The injury just going to keep him out for a while now. So any hope we had in trade value or whatever we were talking about earlier, it's just thrown out the window. Felix's year is in jeopardy at this point.
Yeah, he really started to look like a great back-of-the-rotation starter. Really started to, change his pitches up. Had talked to CC Sabathia, who was another guy that, as he got older, lost some of that power he had in the beginning and compensated. Learned to compensate with change-ups and curveballs. And Felix was having some success throwing the curveball this year, and was looking like a really good sort of back-end starter. If nothing else, could be trade bait coming in there toward the trade deadline, or if the team did well, helping out in the back of the rotation. But 2 shit games in a row is exactly right. He got lit up against the Red Sox. 2.1 innings pitched, 7 earned runs on the way to a 9-5 Mariners loss. 7 earned runs is not good. And then the week before, he got rocked for 6 earned runs in 5 innings, including 3 home runs. So just not good. But good news on the other side of pitching is Kikuchi dominating.
Oh, he's so fun to watch, man.
Yeah, that's the guy right now, right? I mean, Marco's still the number 1, but I'm with you. Kikuchi's so much fun to watch. Got some questions though about some possible pine tar.
Oh, what's up?
There was some questions about whether he had a foreign substance. I have to admit that I didn't look into it as deeply as I should have before bringing it up there, but I did.
No way!
See,
Oh, really, a pine? I did not see that.
Yeah, there were some issues after one of his games that somebody called out that he had some stuff on his hat, is what it appeared. So had it on the brim of his hat. This was a few days ago. After
they
after the good game against the Yankees.
That's just what Yankee fans say after they lose a game and they lost
10-1. There's my Northeast rivalries. I love that shit.
Yeah, that's just the Yankees. They lost 10-1 that day. Kikuchi was amazing. He went 7-2 innings, only gave up 1 run, only had 3 Ks, but he was dominant that whole game. So that's just what Yankee fans got to say to get by because they couldn't sign him.
I'm with that. I agree with that. There seems to be nothing coming down from it anyway. So we got.
Man, I gotta say, I gotta give a shout out right now to Mike Leake as well. He's been pretty well, pitching pretty well for us. Last game he had 7 innings and only gave up 1 earned run on 2 Ks. And right now he's taking the Mariners to the 7th, won 6 and 3rd. Only gave up 2 runs. So he's been doing stellar job the last few games. So you got to give it up to him.
Well, we've talked before. Starting pitching is not necessarily the problem on this team. It's the middle innings and the back of the bullpen that's really causing the issues right now. And
dude,
who
are you telling? I watched the Yankee game. Oh my god, I watched the 5-4 loss last week, and we went into the 9th with a 4-2 lead. Of course, Swarzak blew it. I just knew it was coming, man. I put out a tweet being like, we're not going to hold this, and lo and behold.
Yeah, you could just sense it. They didn't look like when they were on the mound they knew what they were doing. They out in front in that Yankee game. Losing to the you're right. The bullpen's the problem. But we had talked before. Do you sign Kimbrel? No, now you can't. Now I don't think he wouldn't come even for the trade bait here. We couldn't help him. He couldn't help us. So this is just this is the way it's going to be this season, man. It's going to be bullpen by committee until someone finally steps up, and there's no saying who it's going to be yet.
Yeah, and one thing we're also seeing is the bats aren't consistent like it was the first 15, 20 games. I mean, in the road trip, there was quite a few games where we only scored 1 or 2 runs. So the bats are gone pretty cold.
Very true. They had a 230 batting average on that road trip. Not the best showing from a team that is supposed to really rock them.
Right. Absolutely.
All right, so we got a big series coming up. They are, like we said, they get the home cooking here. One against the Oakland A's, and are hanging on as we are talking now to try and win this one. We'll see if that bullpen can prove us wrong going in. And then they got a real tough series this weekend. Homestand down there at T-Mobile Park against the Minnesota Twins, who are admittedly right now the best team in baseball. So this is going to be a rough one, I think, for the home 9. This is
the return of Nelson Cruz to T-Mobile Park, so that'll be fun to see.
At least something to watch, right? So as we said, this team, don't expect them to win, but when they do, it's bonus, and it's a lot of fun. I still think they're fun because they got the bats anytime. They got a puncher's chance in every game, even if that chance is not particularly good.
Oh, I agree, man. You're rolling with the fun right now. We're still within reach of 500, so we're not out of it. It's definitely a fun time to get involved, but the trend is a little scary, and we are diving into those minor league, tapping into that prospect pool. So